What's going on, guys? It is your boy Junior coming back at you with another video. This Tundra was here for pretty much a day, and he's going to pick it up today in the afternoon. But what he also wanted done here, by the way, we installed the bull bar here. We installed the Raptor grill with the lights there, the parking lights. And we also did this trunk bed frame. I'm not sure what's the name of it. And we also did this rear bumper replacement that's like fully metal. Very hard to install, by the way. You can see the before and after on our TikTok. I didn't think it would be worth to make a video on that because I cannot get you guys these frames. The client simply bought it off Amazon and I installed it for him. But that's not what we're showcasing today. He left it yesterday to install that stuff, which was a full day job. Now he says, yo, I'm gonna leave it till 12 because I also need you to put an Android radio there. And what better Android radio to recommend this guy than the Dasaita one. Dasaita is a very good brand. You guys will rarely see me, speak highly about other brands. Because if I tell you, let's say I tell you a cheap brand is really good and you buy it, then that looks bad on me when it starts giving you issues and stuff. But it's like, damn, but Junior recommended this. I've been working with Dasaita even when I wasn't branding my own radios. Dasaita was one of those first companies that I was working with. I always mention that you get what you pay for in this department, and Dasaita is one of those that executes making a radio very well. I usually install it for a client and I never hear of the client ever again, which is a good thing, by the way. You don't want them calling you back saying, yo, this is not working, because when I install somebody else's radio, I'm depending on that company to not fail me, because if they fail me, then I fail the client. So I'm going to be installing Dasaita today. I wouldn't really install any other radio. Dasaita is one of the ones that I've been working with, I'd say, for plus maybe 4 years. We've been there since like the beginning. So we finally made a deal with them where we're able to sell their radios on my website. And believe it or not, I can sell them at the same price that they have it on their website. So I check how much they have it on their website. And since they give me a good deal, I can go ahead and match the price on there. So it takes no money extra for you guys to support me. If you guys are looking for an Android radio and you guys want a branded one, Dasaita is one of the ones that are in my company. My company's website, and then you can go ahead and put your model and year, and if a Dasaita radio is compatible with your vehicle, you'll see it pop up there. But yeah, nonetheless, you guys know I put timestamps in these videos. We're gonna go ahead and remove the factory radio of this Toyota Tundra 2018. We have the box already inside. As I mentioned, you guys can just go ahead and skip into the future where the radio is done and installed. But Dasaita pretty much replicates the software for every single one of their radios. So if you like the way this radio looks and you have a different car, it'll probably look exactly the same. Most of the radios are 10.2 inch. It's just like a different kit for them. So we're going to go ahead and install this beautiful radio. But first, the first step is to remove the factory radio. So let's go ahead and get that started. Alright, so I'm only be giving you guys a quick rundown on how to remove the video, not a full rundown, just because if you're really struggling with removing the video, a simple YouTube video search can help you out. But simply, you just, obviously use plastic popper prior to so you don't scratch the panel. You're going to go ahead and pry this off. I have everything loose. Let me just push that in. I have everything loose already, so I can just show you guys. So this goes off first. You're going to have some plugs here, but you do not need to unplug those. You can just leave that there laying down. It doesn't really bother anyone. And then after that, you can go ahead and pull this radio out. Simply just tug on it and it will come off. As you can see, no screws involved, just a harness that you need to unplug. And then if you look under, you have 4 10mm. You have one all the way in the end over here, these two up front, and then on the other side. Go ahead and remove those 10mm. You can see I already put a microfiber cloth here so I don't scratch anything, because this radio is a little bit heavy. So after you remove those 4 10mm, just got to pull it out. There you go. It's quite difficult to do it with one hand. Definitely be careful you don't scratch anything. So each plug here, each harness has a similar way of removing it or disconnecting it. They all have a tab at the top. So what you have to do is you pull that tab down and you pull outwards. Very simple. Pull down, pull outwards. And if it's not, like if it seems to be stuck, left and right helps. See that? Push down, left and right helps. There you go. There you go. Now this is going to be hard doing it with one hand, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up these plugs and then put the radio on a table to showcase the difference between the two. Now I'm going to be able to showcase the Dasaita radio. Now the back of your radio may look different just because this is the package of Tundra that comes with the JBL audio, meaning it comes preamped. But the harnesses, not all get disconnected. You're gonna have a couple that stay on the radio. I recommend that you keep those plugged in just to keep everything organized. But these are the ones that you do have to remove, pretty much to remove it from the vehicle. Let's go ahead into the table. All right, so now we have everything displayed here on the table. Excuse it being a little messy and dirty, but this is all I have to showcase. All right, so we have the 10-inch display. This is the main unit. All right, I think it's a QLED display. Very good products and quality you can expect from Dasaita. Like I said, I don't get anything from promoting them, but since I'm selling them and I'm also selling them on my website, I can, you know, fully entrust them that they won't fail my clients and I won't fail you guys in return. So we got the GPS here. This is what you're gonna get in the bag. You get the GPS here. This is for navigation. You have the 4G antenna for it sucking Wi-Fi. This is your outputs, your music outputs, the cameras and all that. Let's say you have a music system, like an aftermarket music system with amplifiers. This is what you'd be using. It has your front, rear subwoofers. If you want to put a front camera, you can do that with the help of that. 2 extra USBs. It comes with a USB adapter to recuperate the original USBs in the vehicle if you have one. I haven't checked if the vehicle has one, probably most likely, so we will be using this. SIM card connector, so you can pay monthly at your local Metro PCS T-Mobile shop. And instead of giving the radio your hotspot, you can go ahead and give it its own Wi-Fi by paying monthly, of course, kind of like as if it was a tablet. I guess it is a tablet. You have your microphone input here. An extra single USB. This is going to be connected to the adapter. Those two are pretty much meant to be one. And then here you have some extra inputs and outputs, your aux videos and front camera. And then you have the Wi-Fi antenna. You have these extra screws here because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be transferring over these frames onto the new one. That way it fits nice and flush. You don't want it wobbling around in there because these clips are not enough to hold it in tight. And then of course we have the main harness. The main harness is what's causing everything to work properly. So you have your ignition here, so the radio turns on when you turn on the vehicle. You have your power, you have your speakers here. You're not going to use every single one of these harnesses, I believe. Just some of them. I could be mistaken. Maybe we'll use all of them, but we'll see as we're installing it. You also get your backup camera here, and you also get the reverse here. We have to give it a good ground, which we're going to use with these 10 millimeters that we removed. So that's pretty much what comes in the bag. Here's the main unit itself. The main unit looks a lot more different compared to it's an A+ 256, so highest in the market right now, but it does look a lot more different than compared to all the other radios that they offer. So I guess for the Toyota Tundra, they were able to make something that looks a little more unique. Check that out. And it has like a gloss black finish which will match the car. So let's go ahead and bring this inside the vehicle. Actually, I think what we're going to start off with is we're going to be installing the harnesses first. Then we'll get to the radio and assembling the kit, the frame. And then after the harness is done, after the radio is prepared to be installed, that's when we'll bring it inside and install it. But let's go ahead and hop inside with all the harnesses. Real quick, before we go into the vehicle, there's some stuff that you can install right now to make your job a lot more easier instead of waiting for it to do it in the car. So like, for example, this kind of stuff. This stuff doesn't really necessarily need to be on the vehicle. You can go ahead and install it right now on the radio like that. These are your outputs and inputs. Let's go put this here. This is the microphone input. So I believe this one goes here. Yep. Okay. They are all uniquely shaped, so it's hard to plug in the wrong one where it's not meant to be. Because they're different pin numbers and also unique latches, you can say. And then this is the Wi-Fi signal that I mentioned earlier. You can go ahead and screw that on right now. And the radio is almost prepared. All it needs is the brackets, but like I said, we're going to save that for later. We're going to go ahead and go inside the vehicle with all the extra harnesses and install these first. All right, so the USB adapter, I connected it to the single USB. So it connects directly to that gray harness. This recuperates the original USB here at the bottom. Then you have the 4G antenna, which is here. You can't really see it because it's dark. I put it here, and also put the GPS antenna all the way over here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. You don't have to worry about it not getting signal. As long as there's no metal at the top, then it's perfectly fine, because it goes through plastic and it also goes through leather and windshield. So if there's no metal here, it's almost as if you had it out here. So there's no difference. It's best to just hide it inside so it looks a lot more aesthetically pleasing, we can say. So now all that we have left are these external 2 USBs. These are extras. You don't have to install these because we already recuperated the original one. It's my job too, so I will be running these, and also the SIM card connector. So what we're going to be doing is, usually you guys know I like to run it into the glove compartment. That makes them accessible, but they're not in the way. But the glove compartment is different in this vehicle, where it's completely sealed out. You can't run anything through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them like hidden right here, so if the client wants to access them, he can just reach and access them. But if he doesn't want anything to do with them, then they're just hidden, you know, they're not bothering anyone. So that's the only way I see that it's doable, just because everything seems to be sealed out here. Everything is also sealed out here at the bottom. So that is the only way I see it is possible. Maybe there is another way that I don't know of, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so this will be my example on how to get it done. Like I said, my goal here is to have them be accessible, but out of the way, so only the heads are sticking out, and the wiring is ran through and up behind the radio. And here the connections are, and I have the other one taped up next to it. I will remove the tape, but that is pretty much an idea of what I did to keep it as clean as possible. I would have ran it to the glove compartment, as I said, but there's just no way I can do that. I can do it by making a hole, but that's just not preferable. So now all that's missing is the main harness, which is this one. So we're gonna go ahead and start plugging these in. All right, so kind of like how the radio harnesses are, the main harness are all uniquely shaped. So different pin sizes, different pin numbers, and of course they're all uniquely shaped in terms of how they're put in. So you can see they all have different kinds of latches, different males. So it's kind of hard to plug in the wrong one, so you don't have to be worried about that. And then by looking at the colors, you can see exactly what the harnesses do. This one, the blue and green, I'm sorry, the green and purple one, I don't know where I got blue from. The purple and green, this is going to be your rear speakers. And then the red, black, and the yellow, this means this is going to be your main harness. This is where the radio takes power from. So everything is going to happen through here. This one's going to be your antenna. So go ahead, and I can't do it with one hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug everything in, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like afterwards. All right, and this is the end product here. This is what it should look like. Now don't worry if you have one that you did not plug in. I know people tend to call me when they buy my radios. They call me, they're like, yo, where does this plug in? Don't worry, if you have an extra one and there's no more plugs to plug in, then that just means that this is an extra, maybe for a different kind of package. As you guys know, some of these vehicles come with 360 cameras, some of them come with amplified systems, some don't come amplified system. Specifically this one does, the JBL. So these plugs, these extra ones, are probably for extra functions that your vehicle does not have. So do not worry, just make sure to plug in everything that corresponds to your harness. So there you go. So everything is done in terms of preparing the vehicle for the radio installation. Now we have to prepare the radio for installation on the vehicle, because it's still missing the bracket. So let's go back onto the table. All right, so the next part is very straightforward. You're gonna need a screwdriver. Now the holes are already made for you. I'd recommend that you take a picture of what the bracket looked like before, because we're gonna be transferring over this onto here. That way it fits nice and flush, and we can drill it in so it's very stiff. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and remove these and put it onto here. The holes are already made, so you know you can't go wrong. So let's go ahead and get this done. I'm gonna try to prop up the camera and show you guys a time lapse of how long it takes me to do it. right, and that's what it looks like. Took me about like maybe 3 minutes, I'd say. Very simple. And on top of that, I almost forgot, before you actually go ahead and install it, everything is ready to go. You do need to transfer over the clips though from the old ones onto the new ones. Although it's going to be held in nice and tight with the screws, you still need to put these clips in just for better stability. So we're going to go ahead and get that done, and I'll meet you guys in the car. All right, remember to put your microfiber cloth, that way you don't scratch anything, because these frames are very sharp. The metal frames that hold the radio in. So I showed you guys how to remove the original radio. So it's going to be the same exact process but backwards with the new radio. So you're going to be using all of your aftermarket connections. These original ones, you're going to have like a couple of original ones that are left behind. You don't need to use those. Don't worry about those. Just worry about the aftermarket ones that we install, like the SIM card connector, the USBs, the main harness, the GPS, 4G, all that stuff. That's what you're going to be plugging into the radio. Obviously be careful you didn't scratch anything. I'm not gonna be able to do it on camera because I need to put my phone to charge, because I want to be able to film the showcase. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge it while I'm installing everything. Also like this, see, I'm not worried about this. Don't the original connectors, you don't have to worry about those anymore. And obviously the only real connectors, the factory connectors that I'm going to be using is these. That's to plug it back into the climate control and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together, and then I'm gonna meet you guys in the showcase. But before I forget, do not forget to plug in your backup camera that comes out of the main harness. See this? So there is a male video input that's called camera, see? And you're gonna plug that into the female that says camera in. Let me see if I can show you guys the tag. See it? It says camera in. Now there's multiple camera inputs and females, so you have to make sure that it's the correct one. For me, it is the correct one. So we're gonna go ahead and try it out. See that? We do have double lines here. I believe one of them will move, as is the original one, and this one right here is the aftermarket one. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that. But just make sure you do plug in your backup camera, make sure everything works, and then we can go ahead and head into the showcase. And now for the big reveal. Boom, check that out, ladies and gentlemen. What a gorgeous radio, man. They did a perfect job here in terms of fitment. Looks factory, nice and flush, nothing sticking out. This is as big as the screen can grow in order to keep that factory look. But check that out, man. That looks beautiful. Recuperating every single feature, giving you more functions in terms of convenience. Now it has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. We can go ahead and display the things that you don't lose first. So we can go ahead and hit reverse, and there is the backup camera. Check that out. I think I have a client about to walk in. Never mind. There you go. So that is the backup camera. And then the steering wheel controls, that is automatically recuperated with the CAN bus, the harness. So if I go volume up, check that out. Very responsive. No lag at all. Volume down. Check it out, man. So we're gonna go ahead and start playing some music. We're gonna obviously you don't lose your radio FM. If you're someone who listens to your radio FM, that's why you installed one of the antenna adapters back there, so you can still use it as you know, if you're gonna use that, then you could. But now it comes with so many apps like wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Chrome, Play Store, so you can download a lot more. It's pretty much a tablet that you bought for your vehicle. Let me get a little closer so you guys can see the apps that it comes pre-downloaded with. Spotify. Obviously this stuff is not going to work right off the bat because you got to give it your account. So YouTube Music, you got to give it your YouTube account. Spotify, you got to give it your Spotify account, stuff like that. Play Store, in order to download a lot more apps, you do need to give it a Google account. Check it out. And of course it has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as I mentioned several times. So if you have a Samsung, LG, or any kind of Android, you would be using Android Auto, and if you have an iPhone, then it would be wireless Apple CarPlay. So since I have a Samsung, we're gonna go ahead and tap on this. Very instant. Look at that. It didn't even load. Look how beautiful that display is. And then you have the gorgeous accurate TL in display in the background. My bad, I had a client come in asking for some questions, but back onto the video. You can see every inch of that screen is being used. No borders at all. Check it out. So of course wireless Android Auto comes with the GPS, so all your addresses, your connections, your let's say your contacts, music, all that stuff, all that data from your phone is implemented into the radio, so that way you don't have to type in addresses. You can go straight to home here, and then you have your music. We can play music, check it out, and of course the remote controls work. Fun fact about Junior, he is one of my favorite artists, man. That dude, only heat from that guy, man. That dude is so good. But yeah, you guys know what wireless Android Auto is, and it's pretty much the same thing for wireless Apple CarPlay. It's just that it looks different, but check it out. I think no, I don't mean I think. If you guys saw that the radio, when it was out of the box, it said a G13 in the back with a sticker. That means it's the most updated version of Dasaita right now. There is nothing better than the G13 that they have available, so check it out. So you guys know we have the Tesla style radio that goes all the way towards the bottom, that recuperates. It pretty much takes over the climate control and makes it digital. But some people don't want that, and we understand that. Some people don't want a giant screen. Hey man, I just want like a regular 10-inch screen that looks factory. I don't want a gigantic screen. I don't want to lose my factory physical buttons here at the bottom for the climate control. I want to be able to keep everything looking factory, with a bigger screen with more functions. Then the Android radio would be what I would offer them, not the Tesla style. And obviously this one's a lot more cheaper than the Tesla style, because it's not as big. It doesn't have to do as much as the Tesla style does, as you know, with the CAN bus, recuperating all these special features. No, it's simply just a radio replacement. All right, so I'm gonna go give it some Wi-Fi. Let's go ahead and go home. Like I said, these are all the apps. You swipe down as if it was a phone. Go to internet. We're gonna turn this on, and I'm gonna give it the business's Wi-Fi. So I'll be back when I give it that. And there you go, we gave it the business's Wi-Fi. So now we can go into Chrome. Let's go to apps, Chrome. Now we can start watching a YouTube video. See how incredibly responsive it is? I click on a video and it automatically loads. Put the volume up. Now you guys may be asking, Junior, why are you showing your own videos? It's because every time I showcase like a YouTube music video, I get copyrighted. So I'm trying to avoid that. But yeah, it's very straightforward. It's kind of like a phone. You can click out, and I can click on the next video and it's gonna load instantly. Check that out. Even these long videos, you guys know, the longer the video is, the harder or the longer it takes to load. This is a 30-minute long video, and you can see that it's loading perfectly fine. Obviously it'll look a lot more better on the YouTube app, but he has to download that on the Play Store as soon as he gives it his account. It has YouTube Music already downloaded onto it, but it doesn't have YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. You can also use these buttons as well, by the way. I didn't really showcase them, but it's pretty obvious why they're there. You can use them, and obviously it has the illumination built in, so when you automatically turn on the headlights, they automatically, it's an ignition, by the way. I don't want you guys to think it's there's something wrong with the car. But yeah, it's in an RGB cycle, that way at night you can see the buttons and it automatically dims the screen. I think that's a very smart feature to add. A lot of radios pretty much forget to do that. They always expect to just put bright screen to combat the sunlight, but they forget how bright it's going to be at night. So Dasaita did that well, where you're able to see the buttons and it automatically dims the display as soon as you turn on your headlights, as it's pretty much assuming that it's night outside. And if I turn it off, see how it brightens up. That's awesome. And obviously the climate control wasn't touched, so this works as it should. Nothing was done here. But check that factory fitment out, man. I think that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I think the client's really gonna love it. The client's on his way right now. I just have to show him how it works and all that, make my quick video, and I know he's gonna have a big smile on his face, ear to ear. But that's pretty much like a small showcase of what this radio can do. The backup camera is recuperated. This has a JBL audio system, as I mentioned earlier. See that? So that's also recuperated. It even comes with a DSP, which would be the, let me see, where is it? Sound recorder, not that one. The equalizer, there you go. So you can mess with your trebles, your highs, your bass, your lows, stuff like that. You can mess with that stuff. So I'd assume it's better than the original video, as it didn't really have much of a setup. So you can mess with how your music sounds, you know, even though they're still the factory speakers. They're still JBL, so I guess they sound better than the original ones, like the basic the basic package of the Tundra. But yeah, you can pretty much mess with your music here, and you guys saw that it has the outputs for your lows, your front, your rears, and your subwoofer. So if you want to add a music system to this vehicle, you can do that with the radio and control it onto here. No need for an equalizer, no need for a sound processor. You completely skip that step with this radio, and it's gonna sound absolutely beautiful. You guys know we do it best here, man. This is the Dasaita 10-inch radio that we have to offer here at PNP. As I mentioned, it is now on our website. We made a deal with Dasaita where we're able to sell their radios at the same price that they have it on their website. This is so you guys can support me and still get your favorite company. I know Dasaita is one of the well-known brands out there. They do very good work. So let's go ahead and leave here. How do I leave? Oops, let me put that back. I don't want the client to have any struggles with that. But yeah, you guys know we do it best here at PNP. Give us a call if you guys are interested in a radio, interested in any kind of accessory. You guys know we do it best here. You call the shop. We have multiple workers here. If you want to speak to me directly, you can go ahead and ask for Junior. But that's pretty much a small showcase of what the radio can do. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You're able to give it some Wi-Fi. That way you're able to go to apps. You can go to Play Store and start downloading Hulu, Netflix, Prime Video, watch YouTube. Obviously, don't do that stuff while you're driving, of course. The backup camera is recuperated. Steering wheel controls are recuperated. If you have the JBL audio system, recuperated. You can do so much more. It's pretty much a phone. Think about it like that. You just bought a phone for the vehicle, so you can do a lot of stuff with it. You can download like wallpaper custom apps and stuff like that. But pretty much a small showcase, recuperating the USB at the bottom. If you have a USB full of, I know I keep sounding like I'm at end the video, but I keep talking. If you have a USB full of music and video, then you would put that into there, or the 2 extra USBs that we ran down there, and you can go ahead and access those there. So don't think that you lost your USB here at the bottom, not at all. But yeah, you guys know we do it best here at PNP. If you guys are interested, definitely give us a call, and do check out our website to see what we can offer your vehicle. Have a good day, guys.